My name is Duncan. With me, I have Dani, our national organizer, and I'm going through today the team registration process. So this is a new process that we've brought in for WRO. We're trying a brand new system. So we thought we would try out something new and let you know how it all works so that we can minimize the number of issues that you might have. So the first thing to understand with registration is that it costs 300 Rand per team member to register. So if you have a team of 2, that'll be a total of 600 Rand, and a team of 3 will be 900 in total. So remember, when you are registering your teams, a team of 2 is the minimum number. You can't have a team of 1, and the team of 3 is the maximum. No teams of above 3 members. So the registration process works like this. Before registering, you need to compile all of the data that you need. This will just help you register your teams a lot quicker. It'll be more efficient. There is a registration video. You are welcome to watch the registration video. I strongly suggest it because it has a lot of information on how to actually register your teams. Then you have the option of generating a quote. This is available on our website under the registration. The quote is just a quote. Please do not pay on that quote because we will not be able to track your teams. You need to register your teams, you will receive an invoice, and then you can pay on the invoice. Once you've registered, you will receive a team information sheet as well as the invoice. Please check that team information sheet, make sure everything is correct on it. If not, you can send us the details and we'll be able to assist with correcting anything that may be wrong there. Invoices should all be paid before the 30th of June. No late registrations will be accepted, so please make sure that these payments come through before the 30th of June deadline. Once registration has closed and we have tidied up the venues and gotten everything ready, you should receive an information pack just about the venue that you are attending. You may be attending more than one venue, so you may receive more than one information pack. This is the data that you will need in order to register your teams. There is a very useful checklist that is available from our website. You can download it. It's a wonderful PDF, and in it, it's got all the little things that you will require to register your teams. So please, if you are new, download the checklist and make sure you've got all of that information before you start the registration process. We want to try and limit the frustrations that people have when registering teams. Looking into it, you need to have an information, one idea about your provincial event date and the categories that are at that event. Now, not all categories will be available at a specific provincial event. So please have a look at the website under the dates section, and you will find all of the venues with what categories will be taking place at which venue. Please select the event that best suits you, the one that's maybe closest to your teams. Perhaps you are having an event on the one weekend and you can't attend, but the other one is open. You can enter any of them that you like, as long as you enter only one event, and your teams are only allowed to enter one category. This means you cannot have a team participating in the Future Innovators category and the Robo-Mission category. You must choose one. Looking at some of the actual event dates, this is straight from the website. Gauteng, we've got the Explorer events happening on a Friday. What you'll notice for some events, because of the number of participants that we have split them. Our Explorer competitions will happen on a Friday at some events. At others, they will happen alongside everything else on the Saturday. So for Johannesburg and Pretoria, we have some Friday Explorer events. And for our regular Robo-Mission and Robo-Sports categories, the Future Innovators category, that will happen on the Saturday. In the Western Cape, we have a split. Western Cape has gotten so big with the number of teams that we have split the two venues so that we can accommodate as many teams as possible. So choose the venue that is best for you. They are happening on 2 different dates. And again, we have split with Explorer, which will happen on the Friday afternoon. Everything else will happen on a Saturday. So please make sure when you're registering your teams that you keep this in mind. If you are in Western Cape and you've got Explorer teams, this means you'll need to register for the Friday Explorer competition. If you then have Robo-Mission teams, you will need to register for a Saturday Robo-Mission session. In KZN and Limpopo, KZN has grown very, very much, and so we have split it as well. Limpopo is a new one. This is starting out, and it's limited currently to just the Explorer and Robo Mission categories. In the Northern Cape, we have Explorer and Robo Mission, and in the Eastern Cape, we have allowed the Robo Sports category to take place there as well. So we've got Explorer, Robo Mission, and Robo Sports in the Eastern Cape. When you are inputting your teams, there's certain information that is required. This is information that you should have in full and with you when you register. First off is a team name. This must be a unique identifier. It should be something for the teams themselves, something that they come up with. You then require the team member full names, so please no nicknames, because this is what will appear on the certificates. So we don't want to go back and have to edit certificates. We're trying to minimize that. So please put in the full names the first time, and we won't have to edit certificates for you, which can take a very long time to do. Then we require just the year of birth. This is the year in which the child was born. And that is because of how the age group categories work. They are based on the year the child is born, not specifically the age that that child is at that time. Jumping to our school groups here, we have not our school groups, jumping back to the school names, we have some very interesting little pieces. Each year we have teams that arrive where they have put in a name as school number 1, school number 2, and school number 3. Please try and not do that. The reason for that is it causes a lot of confusion with the judges, because the judges will call the team name that has been provided. And if the teams are not aware of what their team name is, because you've assigned them one on the day, they will not be able to understand what the judge is saying, or that the judge is actually calling them and could possibly miss a competition run. So please make sure you give the teams an original name. Let them come up with the name themselves. This will make it a far better experience, and what you'll find, it'll be a name that they'll carry on for many years within the WRO competition. If teams are struggling with a name, my suggestion to you, and this is what I used to do with my teams when I was coaching, is I would put a random assortment of names into a hat, and these can be everyday items. So you can have Pepsi can, yellow duck, little motorbike, whatever you like. And if a team is not sure what their name should be, draw one of those out and bam, you've got a team name, just like that. Pretty simple. Next up, you will require some invoice information. So for us to send you the invoice, you need to input that information. Some of your companies, schools, organizations may require certain things to appear on the invoice, things like your VAT number, the purchase order number, as well as a company registration number. If you are not sure what that is, the best thing to do is to check with the people that are responsible for the account. They will then be able to give you the information so that you don't have to email us to put that information back on the invoice. If you do require that information and you've left it out, you're welcome to email us and we'll add it onto the invoice for you. Space in the venues is limited. We have a limited amount of spaces per venue. Some venues are larger than others, so please don't wait until the very last minute to register your teams. Make sure you register them early with the information and don't wait until last minute, because chances are your venue may be not available. We will not accept any late entries once registration closes. That is it. So please don't leave your registration to the very last minute. There is a very useful registration video. When you go to the registration website, you will find this wonderful little video. That video will be able to show you how to register your team. It will take you through the entire registration process, all the things that you need to click on, because we've tried to make it as easy as possible for you as coaches to register. Once registered, you will receive the information sheet. This information sheet will have very important information. Please check the information on this sheet. If you notice that information is not correct, please send an email to wro@handsontech.co.za with the missing information or the incorrect information, and we'll be able to assist you in correcting it. When you receive the information sheet, it will look like this. You have the event and date venue, so you can check what venue your teams will be participating in or what they were registered for, the category and the age group, as well as the team details. If you have made an error or if there are errors, you should notice them pretty easily on the sheet. If there are teams missing, please let us know and we will be able to add those teams. We'll give you a suggestion on how those teams can be added. If a team member needs to change or be moved around, we are able to do that from our side as well. All you need to do is send an email to wro@handsontech.co.za and we can assist in updating your team information. For the invoice, you will receive an invoice from WRO South Africa. This will be after we have checked that all teams are in the correct positions, they are all eligible for the events, and that we have made sure that the team spaces are available. All payments should be made before the 30th of June. This is the final date for payments. Closing date of registration is the 1st of June. So please, payments should be the 30th of June. After that, we like to prepare our events and get everything ready. And we don't want to be chasing up anybody for payments. We want to make sure that the teams are attending these events because if space becomes available, we will be assigning that to a team that may be on a waiting list if they have missed out on their possible venue. If you want to generate a quote, you are welcome to visit the website. There it will give you a very simple quote where you can pass it on to whoever is possibly in charge of paying the invoices. Please do not pay on this quote, as this quote is not going to save you a space at a venue. You have to register your teams in order to secure places. And again, we will check the teams to make sure they're in the right age group categories to make sure it is fair across all categories. When you receive the invoice, you will have the invoice number as well as the billing details. This is the information that you have provided to us, as well as your list of billed items. You then have the total amount that will be available to you and our banking details down at the bottom left. Use the invoice number as a reference when making payment. That way we can easily track which payments have come in and which teams are eligible to compete at the competitions. Invoices which are not paid in time may result in you losing out on a seat at a particular venue. We may call on other teams to take up those seats, especially if venues are full and we create a waiting list for those venues. So please, if you want to secure your place and make sure your teams are going to participate, register your teams early and make sure the invoice is paid before the 30th of June. You will then receive an information pack once the registration process has closed. This will be a very useful information pack for you. It will be something where it will contain information on what is happening at the venue itself. Perhaps there will be different vendors available, and we will also state what the layout will be so that you will have something to refer to when you arrive. Remember that at each venue, you need to visit the registration table to make sure that we know your teams have arrived and that we can begin the competition. Each venue is very specific and the information in the pack is specific to each venue. So please, if you have registered for more than one venue, be sure to read both information packs as it might have changed if you're attending Explorer on a Friday and then the full River Mission event, for example, on a Saturday. This, again, is always subject to change due to all kinds of phenomenon that we have in South Africa. And we will update you if you are on the mailing list. You will receive an update immediately for any venue changes as well as competition changes. If you're not on the mailing list yet, visit the website, click on the link and join the mailing list. It is the easiest and best way to receive any and all information regarding WRO. Again, because it is very important, space in venues is limited. Please don't wait until the last minute to register your teams. There's often a major influx of coaches registering teams right on the last day, setting up at midnight, registering your teams. Rather not do that, register them early if you have the information. You're always welcome to drop us an email with changes to teams. So please register your teams as early as is convenient for you, but don't leave it to the last minute. Thank you, everybody, for attending. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Donnie, for being here. Thank you, Tabang, for assisting with the chat. And we hope to see you in our next webinar.